Welcome back to the Digital Wealth Podcast. We appreciate everybody for watching the second episode. The second episode, once again, we're just going over like some AI revolutionary technology tips, how to use it, how to adapt to it, and just some quick breakdowns on the AI infrastructure and how it's going to affect the economy. We did not drop last week, but that was because we got our new guest today. Man, me and Todd been trying to plan this for a while. Just trying to figure out a good time we're going to set it up, trying to get everything situated. But now we live and we're ready now. So, a quick introduction, Todd Lansden. Todd is an entrepreneur. He's a real estate investor, a stock market investor, overseas basketball player, and he's a current assistant basketball coach at CSS, Chattanooga School for the Arts and Sciences. Todd Lansden.
Hey, how y'all doing? Nice to meet you. Appreciate you having me on the line.
Appreciate you, man.
Very exciting and a blessing to be here for sure.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? We was going to do the podcast on Zoom or virtual.
Yeah.
But my dad was like, man, you might as well come down and shoot it down here. And then when you told me it was like CSS alumni weekend, I was like, I might as well come through. Because, I went to CSS and came through 9th grade. And it was like, dang, so I came through to see all the students with the school. It was just cool to see everybody. Because, y'all like family for real.
Yeah.
We all grew up together, but for the audience, just kind of tell the audience like how we know each other and what's our relationship and everything.
Yeah, so like we said, we've been knowing each other since elementary school. Yeah. Been playing basketball our whole life, a lot of battles. Like I said, went to school together and everything, worked out a lot together. Me and your folks, my folks, all got a great relationship and knowing your family our whole life. And it's obviously been a blessing to have all y'all in my life and everything, and hopefully vice versa. And just basketball, I feel like cultivated our relationship as well as, your family's relationship and everything. Just battling against each other, working hard against each other, playing on the same AAU team sometimes, being in the gym together based our whole life outside of adulthood. And then really got the opportunity to play against your brother a little bit, coach your youngest brother. So yeah, just really been around y'all my whole life. Really been a good thing.
So stand on basketball for a second. So, because you talked about this a couple times. Like, you actually was like one of the first people I seen. Like, because you got into business like pretty much like in high school. Like, you started the clothing brand. Back then, I'm still trying to figure out life for real, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be successful, but I didn't know which lane to go towards. But you was one of the first people I seen around the area. Like, all right, he started a little business and clothing brand. You started making money from it, and then you started selling the Yeezys. You remember that?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, that's different. So being so focused on basketball, what made you actually want to start getting into business, and what drove you to start Makeshift Almighty?
Yeah, so really before I started Makeshift, it's really something my dad always put in my brain. When I was younger, he always used to tell me, do what you got to do now, do what you want to do later. So I've always just had a futuristic mindset. I know even as a kid, I used to always just see outside of a handful of people that would go play overseas or not play overseas. They go to college and they would just come back and they was always, in the same spot. So I'm just thinking great basketball players who I look up to as a kid, starting doing research just because basketball don't really last forever. And I just always knew that and just knew that you always have to have a backup plan just in case and just really just cultivate your life. So I know my pops, he had put me on to selling ties. That was my first entrepreneurship thing I ever did because he wouldn't let me get a job back in the day because I would have missed church on Sundays. So I was like, well, shit, I want to make some money, get my name out. So he told me to start selling ties. So I used to get a little string down the street from my house. I used to put a string around the pole and then hang the ties up by the pole. And that was my first entrepreneurship business or whatever. So I was selling ties for a couple of years, did pretty good at that. And I used to just get on Etsy and stuff, buy them for cents on the dollar, resell them for 10, stuff like that. And then once I got to college, that's when I made Makeshift Almighty. That was my first clothing brand and everything. And that's when I started making clothes and selling clothes. And I did that for a while. And I kind of stopped around the time where I got the opportunity to go play overseas. So yeah, so that's kind of what started the entrepreneurship thing. And that's kind of what led to what I'm doing now.
That's a great point that you mentioned. A lot of basketball players, we don't really be having identities once basketball starts. Once the ball starts bouncing, a lot of basketball players, a lot of athletes, it'd be kind of hard for them to find their way in life because that's all we know. You put your heart and your soul into this craft. But like you said, eventually basketball is going to stop. And even for me, all my friends, you and my other friends, y'all are 6'5", 6'6". I'm 5'11". I'm a smaller guard, so it's even harder for us to be able to kind of take it to that professional level. You got to be really, really good. You even got to be really, really good to play professional basketball in general. In my early 20s, playing in college a little bit, trying to navigate, what I was going to do. When I started kind of getting a glimpse, okay, like you're going to have to figure something else out just in case this doesn't work out. So that's a good point you made. Just kind of just being able to like understand and research different things on what's going to set my future up for what I want to do in my life as far as making money, investments. And I just started really just kind of just studying different topics in business, which kind of led me to where I am now and everything. So take me a little bit into deeper dive on the process of Makeshift. Like, how did that work as far as the business process? Like, did you have a vendor? Were you partner with somebody? Was it a strictly online e-commerce business? How did that work?
Yeah, so I was really just doing a lot of research of things I could do while playing basketball. Obviously, I couldn't do, like right now, I'm doing construction and real estate stuff. Obviously, I couldn't do that seriously while playing basketball. So I wanted something that I could just do to make a little money on the side, get my name out there, and also just like build like a brand. So that kind of landed me on clothing. And I started like playing with designs, drawing them up. That's before I had like Photoshop and everything. Started drawing them on a piece of paper, just drawing everything and showing different people like, hey, you think this look good on a t-shirt? Hey, you think this look good on a jacket? Stuff like that. Eventually I got my hands on Photoshop and then I started to make clothes on Photoshop and then a lot of people started liking it. Like my family, friends and everything said it looked great, you should start printing. So I think the first website I used was like a Shopify website where I would just put like an image on there, use Photoshop and create the image I want on a t-shirt and I would just send it to them. And that was the first t-shirt I made. And that's probably like my best one. It was like a red one with like a Japanese design and Makeshift going here. And I had Makeshift all night on the sleeves and everything. So it was different. And I did that. And then over time, I just started doing jackets, hoodies, t-shirts. And then my homeboy Drew, he saw me doing the investment and everything. He invested about a couple, like $1,200 to the business. And then we did like a release party, made all our money back. He made his money back. And then just started growing the business from there. So that's really kind of what started.
Yeah. Do you still have Makeshift about it, or you kind of just took a step back from it?
Nah, so I got out of clothing strictly because I started doing real estate. And I got my first house. Well, it was really a blessing. I got 3 houses for the price of one in 2021. It was my neighbors. They owned 3 pieces of land and then like an acre in the back, all connected or whatever. So they knew me growing up. They knew I was an entrepreneur. They used to see me like tie the ties up and everything. And then they asked me, was I interested? And I was like, well, I don't have money, but I can see. So she told me she was selling all 3 houses for, I think it was 160,000. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm talking to my parents, talking to God, I'm talking to everybody. Like, I don't know much about real estate, but I know that's a steal. Like 3 houses for the price of one, like that's a blessing. Like I got to take it. So I ended up doing that. I was able to get all 3 of those off a loan and everything and fix them up over the years. But that's really the main reason I got out of clothing because I just seen a big opportunity to really say at the time.
And so that's a good point as far as what you said as far as like being able to get 3 houses for the price of one, which is that's like you said, that's a steal. So and then you said you didn't really know much about the financial structure behind it. So I'm assuming you started learning about credit and banking and lending, and that played a big part in being able to get approved for those houses. So did you already have good credit? Like were you like taught about credit early on how to establish credit, how to build a relationship with the banks and lending so you can get approved for the maximum funding so you can put this capital into investments in real estate and things like that? Were you taught that or you kind of just figured out along the way?
Honestly, I wasn't taught none of that. I read books. Like I learned all my real estate from one book. It was how to invest in property. I forgot the author, but the title was How to Invest in Real Estate Investing for Beginners. It was something like that. I learned everything from that book. And then outside of that, I was just always so money motivated as a kid. Like I wasn't selling or doing drugs or nothing. So I was just always trying to figure out how to do it the legal way. And I was just always watching YouTube videos, reading books, learning about, like I was early in my life, I was doing like minor stock investing, losing money, making money here and there, but I've always been money motivated. So as far as that goes, I kind of just learned it as I go. And that's why I be trying to tell my kids, like I'm coaching and really just people in general, like you don't have to know everything. Like the hardest part is just doing it, like starting. Like I've always been the type of person, whenever I want to do something, like I'm going to do my research, of course, I'm dive into it, figuring out along the way. Because especially real estate, like my cousin and a lot of people would say, well, now it's not a good time to buy. I'm waiting on a good time to buy. And it's like, it's never going to be a good time to buy. Like, real estate, I was going to appreciate, yeah, you got to have your housing market crashes every once in a while, but it's all, in my opinion, it's, no matter when, it's always a good time to buy. Like I said, you always going to have appreciation over time. And the longer you wait, the more money you lose, and the more opportunity, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, anything I do, I just learn along the way.
When I really kind of dove and really studied upon the process of how credit works, how to set your credit profile, your credit structure, so you can be a high approval client to the banks. How I kind of got into credit was me and my brother. We started a car detailing business in Charlotte, which is one of my first businesses we started. A success early on, but we was hitting like capital ceiling. I was putting my own money into the business, having to buy the products, having to do the services, the marketing, all that. My liquidity within it was always fluctuating. It wasn't balanced because I was using my own money and it was a cap. So, and I was trying to like reinvest in the business off the money I'm making. And, that's kind of hard, but because you need capital to really be able to make any moves. So I started really studying up on credit, capital access. And the crazy part about it, when I was living in Charlotte, I didn't even realize Charlotte was the second largest banking city in America. I'm like, dang, like Chase right here, Wells Fargo, BOA. Oh, we like, okay, US Bank. We like, okay, we walking into these different banks and seeing what they're looking for, seeing how we can get our credit right to be able to set ourselves up for funding and capital, just we can invest into the business so you can have a better chance of making the business profitable long term. Let's go back to real estate for a second. So how would you suggest people starting out if they're interested in getting into real estate? Would you suggest single family unit or multifamily? Like, how would you suggest people do
Honestly, I think the easiest way, of course, is the business credit, and we can talk about that here in a few. But the easiest way is to get a property that you can live in. So if you want to get in real estate, I would say get your hands on a duplex, triplex, or quadplex. Tris and quads going to be a little bit harder. Duplex going to be more cheaper side. Like a lot of people our age are looking for housing, right? And they're looking for what they call like a starter home forever. I tell people, bro, if you never bought a house before, just get you a little duplex as your starter home. That way, once it's time for you to exit, you can rent both sides out. But the thing about once you get a duplex is you can live in that and you can charge the rent on the person that's living next to you and cover most of your, if not all, your expenses for the house, right? And not only that, it's giving you more network and equity because now you have ownership over that home. And once you exit, because for example, you can use a FHA loan and you have to stay in that property for a year. Once you exit that property after that year, you can rent out that side you were living in, and now you get more cash flow, and you just do that over and over and over and over again. Because you need a place to stay anyways. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they say. People tell you, yeah, you should rent to save money, blah blah blah. But it's like you just paying a random person you don't know. You're not getting no equity from it. Yeah, you ain't got to worry about. You have to worry about utilities, but you don't have to worry about stuff going wrong and maintenance and blah 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 because you don't own it. Like that's really what the government's trying to get you towards, like owning nothing and being happy. Owners like equity, you can make all the money in the world. If you don't own nothing, you ain't nothing. Like it's been so many times I've been gotten a bind and I just refinance my house or something just because I had ownership of it. In the beginning, when I was doing good, I did have a bad little spending habit, so I had to like refinance my house a couple of times to like pay off some of my debt stuff, which I don't suggest anybody do. But the fact that I had ownership of my houses, it allows me to do that. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people don't even know what equity is.
Exactly.
Like certain financial terminologies we weren't taught growing up because, like you said, ownership is very important because you can pull the equity from that house and get that access to that liquidity to fund other resources that you're trying to do as far as when you need capital. But so I'm assuming that's called the HELOC, home equity line of credit. Is that what it is? Or
you can either do that, and that's kind of like, so I do cash out refinances. That's basically somebody comes to your house, tells you how much your house is worth, and then you'll take whatever cash up to 20% of the house. You'll take whatever you want, basically. And then you get paid on like a 30 year loan, depending on your term, sometimes 15 years.
It's like loan to value ratio?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, HELOC is you do the same process, except you don't have to like spend the money. You just have like, think of it like a credit card. Like they tell you, okay, your house is worth $200,000. You want to take $50,000 now? Okay, well they don't give you a physical credit card, but they'll say, okay, here's your line of credit. You have $50,000 to play with. You don't have to pay on it until you use it. Now the thing about HELOCs is you can have that money accessible But time you use it, whatever time period you use it at, that's your rate. So HELOCs is like interest rates can go up or down depending on the period you use it. That's the only reason why I personally use HELOCs. I like cash out refinances because it locks me in at that rate that I signed for. With a HELOC, if you use the credit card, if you use the credit during like a high interest month, now you paying a lot of money you just spent. You know what I'm saying? So I prefer cash out refinance just because I like for myself to be locked in. I don't like any surprises versus HELOC.
Growing up, real estate was probably one of the main wealth builders that I've seen, how people got wealthy. But the thing is, like, I feel like with the new digital age we're living in now, because real estate is it's still not technically liquid, but this is what I like where the future's going as far as making real estate tokenized. When they start tokenizing real estate, that's going to make real estate liquid, so where you're going to be able to have a share or representation of your own home on the blockchain, and you're going to be able to sell that house and get access to that liquidity like that, which is going to be able to, for example, let's say you got some real estate properties in Dubai, and you see, oh, this property $225,000. You got the money on the digital side, on the DeFi side, you can be like, hey, I can buy this house like that and get access to liquidity, and you can sell it and get access to the liquidity. That's going to change a lot as far as like making assets more liquid and more transferable, which is going to increase speed, which I feel like is going to change everything, especially for like somebody like you being like a real estate investor.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And that's really going to cut out the middleman too.
Yeah, exactly.
You really ain't got to worry about going to the banks. You don't have to worry about getting a real estate agent.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about none of that. I can just come to you and be like, hey, you want to buy my house? Yeah. It's kind of the same thing like that. So I think the only problem with that I see it happening is the government always going to want some type of control on something, So that's really the only reason. I don't think it's not going to happen. I think it's just prolonging it because, they all want some type of control and greedy and everything. But I definitely think that's beneficial and it's going to happen one day, for sure.
Hey, real estate, that's a great asset class. Let's hop into stocks. Because I know you in stocks as well.
Yeah.
So how long have you been investing into the stock market? When did you start understanding fundamental technical analysis and how to understand how to value a company as far as a specific stock as a shareholder? Because I know you're in the stock market as far as do you have individual stocks you own, or do you do ETFs, index funds? So what's your strategy?
I do individual. So for a long time, I've been investing since I was like 20 years old, but I will always buy stuff and sell it when I need money. Like early in my 20s, buy stuff, sell it when I need money, buy stuff, sell it when I need money. So I never grew from it. But then I looked at my portfolio probably like last year, and I was like, dang, like 90% of the stocks I had, if I would just left it alone, I would have been straight. So I knew what I was doing, just never let it see it through, I like to do it like long term because you do the look at chart stuff, and that takes dedication, time.
So you don't even look at the charts at all?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't trade at all? I thought you were trading for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So you just trade and invest long term? Okay. What's a couple of stocks you on?
I like NVIDIA because what they're doing with the chips and everything. I think it's just going to be a giant just because of AI, period. I like Tesla, not specifically because of the cars, specifically because they're getting into robotics. I think robotics is going to be the next wave for after AI. Once robotics and everything get on the market, that's going to be the thing. It's probably, in my opinion, it's going to be bigger than AI. You're going to be replacing jobs. You think AI can replace jobs? I think once robotics, especially humanoid robots, once that gets.
See, people just think. See, right now people just concerned on the digital side, like the AI agents and the digital roles. When humanoids drop, I mean, all physical labor is going to be at risk as well. That's going to affect
like China right now. They got warehouses, no lights, run 24 hours, and it's just robotic. They got probably like 7 workers in there, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. But the lights are off. They rarely use electricity for lights and everything. And the robots in that factory just running 24/7. You got to think, you ain't got nobody calling out. You ain't got to worry about nobody talking back. You ain't got to worry about no breaks or anything. Basically, everything that we need as humans, that's what it's doing.
Elon Musk said before 2032, he said there's probably going to be 1.5 billion humanoids, because it's going to get to a point where the humanoids are going to make more humanoids. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be producing fast. Like you said, they're not calling in sick. They're going to be working 24 hours nonstop. And once we get this energy situated, I mean, it's going to be a go.
And see, the only problem I see with the humanoids, they have things called actuators. Actuators, think of it like how we have muscles, like what we use. They use robots to use that to like make movements, and they do go out like every 6 or so months. But once they get prolonged, I think it's gonna be big. And another stock, my favorite stock right now is Amazon, just because I feel like they benefit the most from AI and robotics. Period. They're probably the biggest, one of the biggest, if not number one, probably 2 or 3 biggest distributor in the world for one. And as far as robotics, how their warehouse is set up, they'll benefit the most out of anybody when it comes to robots. And they're investing so much money in AI. Even the computers we record on, they run the cloud service, there a lot of internet. I don't know if you remember last year when the internet went out, Amazon AWS, it was because they went out. Like, we couldn't do something to work. We just had to go back to paper because Amazon went out. Like, they run the internet. They invest billions of dollars in AI. They invest in Anthropic and ChatGPT. So they got a stake in both those companies, whichever one do the best. They got a big stake in I forgot the robotic company, but one of the top robotics companies right now. And, they have warehousing and everything. I think they benefit the most. And, that's why I'm trying to throw a lot of my money at.
Yeah, it's an investor who I always keep up with, and I study up on a lot. His name is Tom Lee. He said, when it comes to like regarding to the stock market, he said that where the world is headed, like the Max 7, all the top tech companies and everything. He said that there's really not going to be a stock that's not a tech company. He's saying finance is pretty much a tech companies now because they're emerging with AI agents and technology advancements. And then he was even breaking it down to like, for example, like food supply companies, like for example, like Lay's chips. That whole manufacturing is getting ran by robots as far as the robotics side. He was saying, so pretty much every specific company is going to have some type of technological implementation into it. So I just, like I said, I always talk about like the technology advancement because I feel like a lot of people still not understanding where it's headed and because it's moving so fast right before our eyes. Because, everybody dealing with everyday jobs and life, but sometimes it's kind of hard to kind of realize what's going on.
But really the easiest way if you want to get into it is research the people who are providing the material and stuff for technology. You don't have to necessarily stress yourself out to see who's going to be the best robotics company or who's going to be the best AI company. Invest in the people that's providing them the stuff to make the AI, providing the actuators and the material to create the robots, because they always going to win.
Especially producing the chips and the memory.
Exactly. It's like an old saying they say the people during the gold rush, the people who's digging for gold, they make the most money. The shovels up speed.
The shovels applause.
Exactly. So it's the same thing. God's gonna be like that. So that's why I like Amazon so much because they're not trying to be number one in AI. They're not trying to be number one in robotics. They're just gonna benefit the most because they use all of it. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Or that's why I like Nvidia because right now they're the number one chip provider. Now I don't know once everybody else goes on board for chips, how big they'll be as far as company, but it seems like right now they're still number one and they keep growing, getting faster and faster chips. So we'll just have to see.
We do have a video over here, and they are supplying a lot of chips over to China. But China, they're trying to figure out a way how to provide the best chip value so they can kind of increase their AI productivity. But when it comes to like as far as like the robotics and their LLMs, they are increasing fast over there because they have a lot of access that we don't have over here because like US is in a lot of debt over here. See, China, they're like net positive as far as like their GDP, as far as what they're producing and the services that they're providing. But over here, we're still trying to figure out the debt problem. So once we figure out the debt problem a little bit, but Trump, he's trying to figure out a way how we can manage the AI stuff, manage the crypto stuff, he's still trying to manage the war policies. He's trying to keep everything balanced because once everything kind of stabilizes, that's when the next revolutionary, when the technology can really break out and when things can kind of get to that paradigm shift as far as like utopian technology advancement as far as where the world is going.
I don't know if we'll ever get out there, to be honest.
They're just going to keep printing more money.
Yeah. And that's why, going back to assets, that's why I tell people, buy houses, buy stocks, buy silver, buy gold, buy physical things that's going to appreciate the value over time. Because the more money's printed, the more that value on paper is going to go up. Now, real life value, you still look like at a block of gold. But on paper, next year, this piece of gold might be worth X amount because they just keep printing. And see, assets don't necessarily really make you rich. Honestly, they just keep your wealth, your wealth in value.
Yeah, they keep you level as far as like where your wealth is measured in the economy. I was looking like, I think in 2000, so it's 2026. In 2006, I was on TradingView and I was looking at the economic GDP and the inflation rate. So the dollar has lost 65% of its value in the last 20 years. So, which means that, like you said, you got $100, it's worth less than 65% now.
Mm-hmm.
So people thinking that you keep saving all this money, that's not healthy because housing is going up, food costs is going up, everything is going up. So your dollar's not worth as much as it was. But people don't understand how inflation works. Like you said, own assets is going to appreciate so you can keep up with the rate of the economy. But I know you like physical assets, but how you feel about crypto?
I like it. I like Bitcoin. But that's probably about it right now.
Oh, you don't like ETH, Solana, XRP?
It's just I just see so much benefit in like other stuff like stocks right now. Like that has I ain't gonna say crypto don't have value, but I just see so much benefit in regular stocks that you kind of get the same value right now that, you know, I kind of lean that towards that. But at the same time, during times like now when crypto's on the low end, nobody be investing. But whenever it go back up, which it will go back up, then everybody going to throw money into it.
It's a new asset class.
That's what I'm saying. During periods like this, you just have to be diligent and confident and like continue to trust the price and continue to invest. Like I probably do like $200 here and there every once in a while.
Yeah, see the thing is, people don't understand. People don't understand what crypto is. Like the reason why cryptocurrency is going to have a lot of value because to be able to get to a full utopian-ish future, technology-wise, decentralization is going to have to be the main cause and effect of that, which means is you're going to be in control of your finances, you and your AI and your personal AI agents, which means that everything's going to be on the blockchain. It's going to be able to move frequently as far as speed. What I mean by speed. So what I mean by speed is how fast can I send you some money and how fast can you send me some money without having a middleman. But it's a new asset class. It's going to be volatile.
Like I think it's always going to go up, especially because it's a appreciating asset and because you know they got the burning and everything. Well, every 4 years or something like that, they burn Bitcoin and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's continue to go up because it's a scarce asset. Versus you can't print it, you can't do nothing like that. Yeah. So yeah,
it's only 21 million. It's scarce. Yeah, it's gonna appreciate over time, and then it's decentralized. You own it. You don't gotta give it to no bank, no investment firm. You own it. You're in possession of it. So you know it's gonna continue to go up in value. I look at Bitcoin like digital gold. So I just like having the flexibility, like being able to move money around quickly. I try to send 20, 30,000, whatever. They're not going to send that, but I can move money. I can move as much money around I want to on the internet, no problem. On the DeFi side,
I think it's important. Really, just have every asset. Like stocks, diversification is important. Silver, crypto. I really just have your hand in everything.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I like to do. Yeah. And I like to set goals. Like, for example, my goal right now is to have $100,000 in stocks and crypto. And once
a piece of
just like together. Okay. It don't matter if it's like 80 here, 20 there, just like together, you know what I'm saying? And then once I hit that, I'll move on to something else. Like probably gonna try to get my fourth house. And once I do that, maybe I want $150,000 of stocks. And I just like to do that back and forth. Stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to stack up. Well, really, I'm trying to get out of debt. I'm trying to get out, because I use a lot of debt to get the house, of course, and everything, and fix the stuff up over the years. So really just investing and paying everything off. That way I ain't got to really pay no bills or anything. So,
good. Man, let's get into this AI talk a little bit.
I tell people, bro, like love it or hate it, you need to get used to it. It's gonna be like when people had computers. Like if you love it or hate it, if you wasn't using a computer after a while, you was getting left behind.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with what they're doing with the data centers and all, taking the water and all that stuff. And some people talking about it's messing up their livestock and stuff like that. I don't agree with none of that. But at the same time, it's happening. And especially when like black people, bro, like I'm trying to tell people like, bro, do not get left behind. Like you might not have to like it, you might like love it, but you can really use this junk to make money. Like you can really use it to like help you with your jobs, help you with day-to-day life, for like $20 sometimes, I'm training my AI agent right now to run my business for me. Like me and my homeboy Mike, we got a construction business where we do like minor handyman stuff like that. And I'm training it right now to market divisions for me. I text with a picture. It's posted on Facebook for me. It makes all the messages. It's constantly finding contacts for me, constantly giving me booked appointments and everything. Like that's the goal I'm trying to do with it. And it's really a possibility. I just got to sit down and do it. But it's a lot you can do with AI. And like I said, I don't necessarily hate it. I don't necessarily love it, but I just see it as a useful instrument that you really, it really just would be dumb not to use it, honestly.
Yeah, it's a tool similar to how the computers was, but the productivity, what it does on the business side, as far as running business operations, automations, workflows, all that is great and it's really important. But I also feel I be telling people like this, like sometimes when it comes to like being able to understand how do you develop as a human being, because business and money isn't everything. You gotta get your health together, you gotta get your intelligence together, you gotta get your mind together, because if you don't got those three things, the money not even gonna matter anyway. I done got to a point to where like my AI agents and stuff like that now. Like my AI agents understand, okay, what is your fitness goals? What is your intelligence goals? What is your mindset goals? Like I'm trying to figure out how I can get more healthier, how I can get more fit, how I can get smarter. Because I say like I've been messing around with AI for a while. Like I've been in it for a minute, and I've just seen how I've developed as far as like being able to evolve as a human. Like I know I've gotten smart. It's made me smarter. It's made me a little bit more efficient, and it's making me be able to get a lot of things done that I once wasn't able to do because we didn't have the technology always. Like I said, I remember having businesses. Like you remember how it was back in 2016. Like we didn't even have none of this accessibility as far as AI agents and none of this stuff. This wasn't even here.
And then you also got to be careful adding to that point because it can make you dumb at the same time. Like a lot of people, especially these kids, a lot of like I said, I coach, and you can tell it's hurting this generation for sure. But you really have to be mature in using it because it can really dumb you down as a human. Like you have to make sure that you still reading your books, reading your Bible, and you still trying to gain knowledge on your own outside of like AI. You know what I'm saying? Because it will make you stupid as much as it'll make you smart. But like it's a great tool. I love it. I use it every day. I praise God. I got a new job. I'm gonna be moving soon.
Moving.
Yeah.
Where you going?
Nashville.
For real.
Yeah.
The Black success coming up out there.
Yeah.
A lot of people keep talking about Nashville.
But yeah, and I'm getting promoted, and the stuff I'm gonna be doing on that job, I'm about to just train my AI. Like it's like a sales job, so I have to like log a lot of stuff, X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna just carry my AI where I can just press a button, send it a name and info, and do everything for me. Yeah. Like, and that's gonna save more time. I can see more customers. I can get more business. I can do X, Y, Z versus waste my time doing like the little stuff. I can just do what I gotta do. Let the AI do it. It's do what I do. I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think more so, which I know wishful thinking, because a lot of people in charge are greedy. I wish it was more so a tool versus what they're trying to present as like a replacement. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But you got a lot of evil people in charge. So yeah. But I mean, that's in the Bible. I mean, world's supposed to be worse. X, Y, and Z. You got a lot of people who don't really care about a lot of other people, and it's natural. But I think it'd be a perfect tool, not a replacement.
Yeah, but I'm in Atlanta, so Atlanta is like every day. Like I just drive around the city. Like I just be looking. I'm like, this was not here 10, 15 years ago. We got self-driving cars, Waymos all over the place. We got the little AI grocery cart things in downtown. They taking your groceries, doing stuff like that. I mean, we even got the I don't know. Have you seen it? We got the AI. It's AI station where you can make your coffee now. Like it's a big city, so I'm seeing a lot of technological advancements, and I'm really good friends with some mentors of mine. Kind of being around and getting introduced to like more tech advancement. He told me one time, he was like, man, he said, look, he said, go all in on AI. He said, I know everything what you got going on. He said, but go all in on AI. He said, if you go all in on AI, it's gonna be able to separate you from everybody else because people are not even catching on. They don't even understand what it is and even how to use it. If you go all in on AI, it's going to 10, 15, 20 extra business and your productivity. And I thought it out like, yeah, he's right. And I mean, I just kind of just went all in as far as diving deeper into like, how do I get into vibe coding? How do I get into automation and workflows and everything like that? So let's talk about a little bit of like vibe coding because these AI agents, be able to code and things like that. We was talking about it previously before we recorded. What's some things you made just off vibe code with your AI agents, like applications and all that?
Yeah, so I made a budget app because I didn't feel like paying for everybody else's. So it tracks all my finances, my net worth, debt, income. Tells me whenever my bills are due, X, Y, and Z. So I made that, make it more organized in my finances. I made like a little stock trading bot. Been playing around with that. It's not perfect yet, but I finally got it to trade on its own or whatever.
Is it doing long term or is it doing like
right now I'm doing long term.
Oh, so it's just buying and selling.
Okay. So it's doing constant research over time, news articles, reading through that and everything, and it's constantly gathering data, and then it's using that data to make its trades or whatever. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing with that right now. And then really just day-to-day stuff. Like, for example, when I had to get my taxes done, I didn't have any of my QuickBooks for like the past 6 or 7 months done. So I just trained the AI agent to like know where to categorize stuff, know how to do X, Y, and Z, and then it was able to do that for me. So that's why I think it's like a perfect tool. Like you can get it to do all the mundane stuff that you don't want to do as a person, and you can just use it to do really anything you don't feel like doing, honestly. And right now I'm trying to code a marketer where it's marketing me and my homeboy Mike's business. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Are you using Claude Code or using Claude Cowork?
I use Claude Code whenever I need to code something or build like an app or something. I use Cowork for my everyday stuff, like for example, my business, me and Mike business, I use Cowork for that. It has all my pictures, my clients, past clients, and it's constantly on schedule, like look for new people or whatever. And then, so I use both of those, and I use a regular chat just for like everyday stuff.
But you are using Open Claw and
no. So I made my own Open Claw.
Okay. Yeah. But you put it off Claude Code.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I connected to Telegram, so instead of me having to be, because they got the Claude, you got to connect to the computer. Yeah. But I'm never at home really because I work so much doing stuff. So I connected Telegram, so now my Telegram can basically do everything. The computer can, and I just text it what I want. It's connected to my business phone, so whenever somebody texts me, it'll tell me what it says, then they'll draft a response, and I'll approve it, and they'll respond for me if I wanted to. So I don't got to worry about responding to people. They read my emails. I don't have to worry about reading my emails. Whenever it flags something important, it hurries up and gets it to me, and then it drafts a reply for me. I press approve, and it sends the email. So yeah, so really just make sure I don't miss nothing.
For business operations, Claude is pretty efficient. I'm kind of really working on building like actual like automation agent workflows. And what I mean by that is like N8N, Zapier, Replit, Hermes, OpenClaw, or applications where you can go in and actually build out agent operations, or like kind of similar to what you said, how you got each agent that has specific roles and tasks, but eventually you're going to be able to, those agents are going to be able to communicate with each other. So they're not going to have to come to you and be like, hey, can I do this? They can just talk with each other.
That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. I'm going to have to get with you. Because I've been struggling trying to build something like that because I keep on getting hiccups.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to have to.
I was telling you about the Brain Hub. So you can make your own LLM, and then you can have all them agents.
Which one you use for that?
I built it on Claude Code, and then I moved it over to Manage, and it's operating on Manage. So it's an AI brain. It can be able to do things. So he's actually running a couple of my business as far as like day-to-day operations. But eventually you're gonna have all your AI agents, and you're not even going to have to even communicate with them at all. The AI gonna be like the manager, and all your other AIs will be like the employee, and it's gonna be running on its own.
That's what I was trying to do, the same thing with the SOC. Like I called them desks. I wanted one desk to be research. So that's why I'm in the process of building research. So it's researching stocks, technical analysis, it's researching news as far as like, Trump, Ukraine, war, and all that stuff. It's researching social economics, like what the consumers think about X, Y, and Z. Grok is good for that because a lot of stuff on Twitter, Grok can actually search Twitter. It's probably one of the only AI agents that can do that right now. Search Twitter and see like social economics. And I want that just to do that. I want another one to do the trade itself. I want another agent to grade the trade and research like different stock investments types and everything. And I wanted to basically I wanted everything to work together, like research, make the trade, grade the trade, was it good or bad, why, figure out why, What's the improvement we can make next time, and basically like do that over, play data over and over and over and over, like a high level investment. That's what I'm trying to be. Like where it's learning for itself, it's making its own mistakes, it's making its own improvement, and that's what I'm trying to be. And I think that's a good way to do it. Like have it communicate with itself. And I try to do that all on Claude Code, but I don't know, it's like I'm in a hiccup right now. Like it's not communicating with what I needed to.
Yeah, they got other trading bot AI software you can use too. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah.
But so I'm in the process right now. I think it's pretty cool. Of a couple different voices I've been doing, but I actually so like I said, I got like 4 or 5 different manager AIs that's running the business. So for example, like one of my businesses, I wanted to be able to like when a customer calls, that they can get in contact with me, but it's not actually going to be me. So I clone my voice on my AI agent. So when they call, my voice is going to answer. It's still perfecting the speech with it, but it's going to be me talking to them. Be like, hey, this is one of David's agents, but it's going to be in my voice. And I'm working on that right now. All my business is going to have my voice to kind of make it a little bit more like human, you know, because a lot of my clients, they don't really like, a lot of people still don't like the AI stuff. So it's,
Change. I might like change.
yeah, but
It's kind of like how we didn't like the old robots back then. I still don't like it. So yeah, if they can perfect it to where it's supposed to be, I don't see why people really won't be able to tell the difference. But
it's going to keep getting smarter. It's going to keep.
But even now, I still prefer to talk to a human because
Yeah, that's right. I mean, anywhere you call, it's an AI answer now. Yeah, but yeah, man. I ain't trying to take up all your time, man. I appreciate you, coming to chop it up. But I'm glad we finally did this, though. I mean, you the first guest, man. So I appreciate it. We definitely got to do this again, though.
Yeah, I just think, especially as Black people, bro, like it's important that we learn about finances because we, as people, that's what I'm trying to teach the kids. Like kids I'm coaching, like it's bigger than basketball. Like I'm trying to tell them about finances because even a lot of people my age, like I'm sure you talk to people, like when I talk about money and houses, they be like, I did not know that. They didn't even believe stuff like that can happen. It's just like, it's really just education. And with the technology we have, the phones, the books, there's really no excuses now. You just got to know where to look. And that's a big problem I see. Like a lot of people don't know where to look. You type in something on YouTube and there's millions of people talking about the same thing, but getting bad information. So it's just important to like educate kids and really tell them, like teach them where to look and how to research. I mean, I think that research is a skill. And the thing about kids is, bro, like they're in such a good spot no matter where the world is. Like I tell my young guys, like you can do whatever you want with your money. You can trick, you can be a trick, you can spend on girls, you can spend on cars, food. Right. Just put 15 to 20% away.
Just 15 to 20%.
Never touch it. Yeah. When you get my age, you're gonna be so far off from your friends, bro. Like if you just put 17, 18, 19, 20, you just put 15, 20% away, bro, for 10 straight years, bro, you'll be unstoppable, bro.
It's all. See, I'm gonna tell you, like me doing a lot of research and studying on AI, it made me realize, like, okay, like I was telling people all the time, like as a kid, like I didn't come into this world wanting to know how to play basketball or wanting to play basketball. My dad programmed me as a child to want to play basketball.
Yeah.
So I grew up wanting to play basketball and do other things. It's programming. Same thing with AI. It's programming. So when kids grow up in, unfortunate situations, it's just programming. Like we grew up around, entertainment, rap. I mean, it's cool, but it's like, it's not anything that's going to actually like help you financially, but it's all just programming because like other environments where they teaching kids about financial literacy at a young age, it's programming. Same thing with AI. Like it's all, they're literally mimicking the biological makeup of us, which is kind of interesting,
Exactly. And obviously, needless to say, I be trying to tell them, like, I always just keep your eyes on price, keep God first. The thing about it is, bro, I've been preaching my whole life. My dad had been a pastor, preacher/pastor my whole life. And like, I didn't really start taking it serious until probably like a year ago. Like my first time ever reading the Bible on my own. Like I've been going to church every Sunday, just listening to whatever my dad say. And most churches, like, he do a great job. A lot of churches do a great job. A lot of churches don't. So if you just hear it from the person's mouth, you really don't know what you're hearing until you read it for yourself. And when I tell you, bro, when I actually read the Bible, bro, it's so much stuff in there that ain't got nothing to do with what we learning. Like, it's how to be in a good relationship, how to be a good person, how to make money, like how to live life. Like it's really like the ultimate guide. Like I thought it was just, you know, how to be a good Christian, how to serve God better, But it's really how to live life. Like he manifestation in there. Like
have you checked out Myron Golden?
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like people, we've been so conditioned as a people to think that we have to be on downward a downward spiral or at our lowest to get close to Christ, and that's really not true. Like you can be in a great spot and still get close to God. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, especially in like churches like I've been around, it's kind of like they kind of teach you to not want anything or not want to be rich or not want to be successful and to be humble, which is good to be humble, of course, being humble, but like you can still want you can still want a great life. You can still want great things for yourself, for your kids, for your family, while still being a good Christian. Like it's not like it's gonna blind you. Like they teach you money is root of all evil. That's not true. Love of money is root of all evil. I didn't know that till I read it myself. You see what I'm saying? Like I used to always feel bad that I was so money hungry. I used to always feel bad that I wanted a good life and XYZ. Then I read it for myself. It's like, oh, as long as I put God first, I'm fine. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like I be telling them read it for yourself too. Like any information you get, no matter whether from school, from parents, from church, really you just gotta also be on research on the back end. You know, so I think that's very important. Just always keep God in your life and keep reading your Bible consistently. Anything you do consistently, you grow in it. Like 15% thing I was talking about, you just do that consistently over time. Like basketball, you do ball handling, jump shots every day consistently over time. You have no choice but to be a good basketball.
It's compound interest.
Exactly. Like everything is compound, no matter what you're doing.
But I'm gonna ask you a couple questions as we end up the pod, man. So the first question is, what inspires you, and why does it inspire you?
I guess really just what inspired me is just really success, man. Like I've always just been driven to be better than what I was every day. I think my parents did a great job in raising me, and I appreciate them. And I've always been driven by them to have like a never give up attitude and a never settle attitude. Like I've never been satisfied where I'm at, like in any spot I'm at. So I've always just been the type of just hustle and get more and try to get better and try to get smarter, and, you know, in every aspect of life. So I just think I got a number in my head. I ain't gonna say it out loud, but once I hit that number, I'll be satisfied, So yeah, that's really what drives me.
Okay. I like that. And the next question is, this is the Digital Wealth Podcast, talking about, variety of topics, investing, AI, stocks, crypto. So living in this new digital era, what is one piece of advice you can give to the audience as far as how they can take this information and start understanding some concepts so they can start building wealth on their own with it?
I would just say do it. Like just dive into it. You don't have to know everything, but you have to use it. When I first started using AI, I didn't know anything about it, and it just started blowing my mind. Every day I just got hungrier and hungrier, and I just started using it more and more. And then the more you use it, the more new stuff gonna come out. Like, what was the first one? ChatGPT?
Mm-hmm.
Haven't even touched ChatGPT. Now we got Claude. I ain't even thought about ChatGPT, and Claude maybe not be Claude in a couple of years. It might be something else. So the biggest thing in anything, you just have to do it. Like you can get left behind, but you don't want to get left behind. So as long as you're just in that space, whatever you want to be in, as long as you're just continuously playing with it and learning about it, eventually you just get good at it. And that's just anything in life, whether it's, being a better person, reading your books, investing, like you just play, you're going to mess up, sometimes you got great days, sometimes you got bad days, but you just got to consistently do things. So you're just diving in.
Man, appreciate it for coming by and taking the time to really do this with me. I really appreciate it. I wish you all the best in moving to Nashville. I mean, you somebody who motivate me. I see you getting into real estate, You've always been doing business, and every time we talk, you always mentioning God to me. I really appreciate you doing that because God is important. You can't do anything without putting Him first. So I appreciate our friendship, man, and just looking forward to the next 10, 15 years of our success.
No, I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited to see where you're at. Like I said, as much as you're proud of me, I'm proud of you, bro. Like you in a good position because like I have a job and I do a lot of entrepreneurship stuff, and I feel like that's in a sense a safer path because I know I got a check coming in. But you in a position where you gotta do what you gotta do, and you're doing it. Like you done been in Charlotte, now you in Atlanta. Like a lot of people, who put everything on and just have faith in themselves. A lot of people don't work out, but you got it working out. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you, and I think you just like I told you, we had a conversation of what was last year. You was asking me about yourself, and I just told you, bro, just you got to keep going, bro. You never give up. You just keep reading your Bible and everything. One of my favorite verses is in the book of Matthew. He said, it was Jesus talking to the disciples. He said, "Verily I say to you, if you say in this mountain, be thou removed, and believe in your heart in the things you said, it shall be done." So what that tells me is, if you say it, if you believe, and if you can see it happening, like it will happen. You just gotta have the faith to do it. So I'm proud of you, bro, and I just think you're doing great things. Yeah, bro. Just keep that mindset, bro. That's all you gotta do.
Appreciate it for joining me, bro.
Yes, sir.